RSD, or rejection sensitive dysphoria, affects up to 99% of people with ADHD. So this topic is so important, and today I really want to discuss it with you. Has someone ever said something to you, like the tiniest bit of feedback, and your whole body just drops? Oh. Like your chest, it caves into your stomach, and your stomach flips and your brain goes into absolute meltdown mode. Because that happens to me all the time, even now, even with all the guides, even with all the understanding. But for years, I thought I was just being dramatic and thought that I was too sensitive or too emotional and that I just needed to get over it. Maybe I did. But then I found out there's actually a term for this. It's called rejection sensitive dysphoria, or RSD for short. And when I learned what it was, it honestly changed the way I see myself, and I was happy and comfortable to look in the mirror again. So here's what RSD actually is. It's this thing that a lot of ADHD people deal with, where any kind of criticism or rejection, even just someone slightly pulling back, it doesn't just sting, it physically hurts, like a deep gut punch pain, like someone boom right in the stomach. Now that feels way bigger than what actually happened, and that is the bit that messes with your head the most. Because the people around you are looking at you like, what's wrong with this guy? They barely said anything. Maybe they didn't even mean it as a criticism. Maybe you just read it wrong. But the feeling inside you is real. That pain is real. It hits so fast and you don't even have time to think about it. 1 second you're fine, the next second you are completely crushed, or furious, or both. Everyone reacts to it differently. Some people explode, this guy over here. Like I've done, that someone says something at work and I just snap. I've done it. Completely lose it. Say something I regret. And then I'm sitting there an hour later thinking, what has just happened? Other people, Jessica, they just crumble. They burst into tears and they can't even explain why. And some people, they just shut down completely. I had this happen to me just this week. They go quiet, they bottle it up, they run away, and they sit with this horrible feeling eating away at them inside all day. The thing is, this isn't just a bad mood. This is your ADHD brain going into panic mode. Fight or flight is activated. Because we've had a lifetime of getting things wrong and being told that we're too much, not enough, careless, lazy, emotional, dramatic, and every single one of those moments builds up. So now even the smallest hint of rejection sets the whole thing off. And it changes the way that you live your entire life without you even realizing it. Like I became a massive people pleaser for a while because of this, wearing myself thin, trying to keep everyone else happy and saying yes to everything, even though I didn't want to do it, running myself into the ground, trying to make sure nobody else could ever find a single thing to criticize, because if I'm perfect, nobody can reject me, right? No, doesn't work. Some people go the other way around and they work themselves into the ground, doing more than everyone else around them, trying to prove they're good enough so that, no one could ever say that they're not pulling their weight, for example. And then there's the people who, as I said, just hide away. They pull back from everything. They stop putting themselves out there. They stop trying, because if nobody sees you, then nobody can criticize you, right? And if nobody can criticize you, then you can't get hurt, right? Well, no, wrong again. I have completely burned bridges because of this. I've had a manager pull me aside once to give me completely normal feedback on stuff that, is completely normal in a workplace. And my brain locked onto one tiny negative thing and boom, we go nuclear. I couldn't let it go. Ended up saying something I shouldn't have and making the whole situation 10 times worse. And then I got that awful report that said, can't take criticism. Wonderful. And relationships, honestly, that's where it hits the hardest, because the people you care about the most are the people that you can definitely hurt the most with your words, but they can also hurt you the deepest. When my Jessica says something, my brain reads it as a rejection and it feels like a stab in the back, like a proper stab in the back. And I'm sitting here thinking, how would you do this to me? When in reality, they just said something completely normal, like, can you grab this or don't do that or whatever it is. So the question is, what do we actually do about this? Because knowing what it is doesn't make it go away. Trust me, I can be in the middle of knowing it's RSD and still feel like the world is ending. But here's what helps. First, give this feeling a name. When it hits, say to yourself, this is RSD. Say it out loud, to be honest. It won't make the pain go away. Trust me, it doesn't. But it puts a tiny gap between what you're feeling and, what you do about it. And that gap is where you stop yourself from doing something stupid. At least you should do. The second thing is walk away. And I mean literally leave the room. It doesn't matter what's happening. I've been in arguments with Jessica where I felt like that wave of crash come over me and I've had to say, look, I'm going to have to step out. Can't deal with this right now. I've said it through gritted teeth. I cannot do this right now because every part of me wanted to keep going. But 20 minutes later, I came back and I realized, oh, that's not even what she said. I completely twisted it. And the third thing is, this sounds basic, but it works. Just look after yourself. Like not sleeping, if you're not eating, if you're stressed out of your mind, the RSD goes from a 6 to a 10. Everything lands harder. Your fuse is way shorter. You react before you even worked out what has happened. The better you look after yourself, the less power and control it has over you. Now, fourth is to step back and think about the person. Ask yourself, does this person actually want to hurt me? Like, really think about it. Don't just do it off the cuff. All of the things they've done for you, all the times they've shown up for you, does it genuinely make sense that they are trying to cause you pain right now in this moment? Almost never. Your brain has jumped to the worst thought because that's what ADHD brains do. Look, RSD doesn't make you broken, it doesn't make you dramatic, and it doesn't make you too much. It means that you've got an ADHD brain and you've spent your whole life being misunderstood. Parents, teachers, managers, everyone. Now, once you know what it is, you can start catching it before it catches you. Nobody teaches us this stuff, so I'm trying to do it for you. I have a ton of guides in my link in my description and in my bio. Some of them are free. Please go and get them. They will help. And also, if you've enjoyed this type of content, please follow me and let me know in the comments what you did or didn't like.